It was for sure a sink or swim thing for me. And part of the reason why that had to be successful was I literally took all of my fucking money. Literally all of it. I didn't have a fucking penny I had to park my car. I couldn't fucking afford insurance or gas on it at that point. So I got this message on Instagram from some guy, and he wrote in and he's like, "Hey Dan, I'm wondering, when you started your business, were you uncertain?" Yes, I was. How did you know that you were going to reach your goal? So I have actually an interesting perspective on this. When I started my businesses, I had dropped out of school and I didn't have a job. And my job at the time was working at GM, where you had to be in school to work. Mm-hmm. So obviously me dropping out, I couldn't stay working at GM. So I didn't have a job. So that instead of getting a job, I started my businesses at that time. I bought real estate, and then I got the store on Google and I started a website, started making shit myself. Yeah, mm-hmm. I didn't originally start making stuff myself, but that's another story. Anyways, I was extremely uncertain if this was going to be successful. In fact, the reason why I even own real estate, the only reason why I even got into real estate ownership was in the event the supplement business didn't work out for me, mm-hmm. I at least had something that I could, I don't want to say fall back on, but something that I can shift focus to, right? It wasn't like a fallback plan because I was like, fuck, maybe that won't work either. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's kind of hard to fuck up with real estate, mm-hmm. right? It's a hard asset. As long as you think you're buying good stuff, it'll always be good stuff, right? And it'll always be there. It's not mm-hmm. something that can kind of like poof and be gone, right? A supplement company can go poof and be gone. So, yeah, I was extremely uncertain. But the whole point of this is I didn't have a plan B. So I essentially forced myself to be successful. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people, what they end up doing is not working hard enough to... Actually, one second.
Because they have that safety net?
The key takeaway to this was I pushed myself to the breaking point, really, so that I would be successful. And I didn't give up before I reached my goal. I think the majority of people, probably 99.999% of people, give up before they actually are able to reach their goal. But I also think they actually give up because they're not actually able to put forth the work necessary to accomplish that goal, because it's fucking really hard. It is actually really hard. When I think back on what I actually went through, mm-hmm. I almost feel like I don't know that I could do that again. Like it was actually, it was crazy. It was actually crazy to me. The shit that I did, the shit that I went through. But when you don't have something else in the back of your mind saying like, hey, listen, if this doesn't work out or this gets too tough, I don't have to keep going. Mm-hmm. I could just do that. I didn't have that. It was for sure a sink or swim thing for me. And part of the reason why that had to be successful was I literally took all of my fucking money. Literally all of it. I didn't have a fucking penny I had to park my car. I couldn't fucking afford insurance or gas on it mm-hmm. at that point. So I almost sold my car to do the deal. Almost sold my car. I ended up convincing the bank not having to put something on deposit so I wouldn't have to actually sell my car. So I didn't have a choice not to make the supplement company successful or do whatever I could to make that a success, because in order for me to do what I did with the real estate, get the tools that I needed, do the rehab jobs that I needed, I had to have some sort of income supporting it mm-hmm. above and beyond the rent at that point in time. So I had no fucking choice. I had zero fucking choice but to make that successful. And what I ended up doing was taking the I renovated the units myself, very light, nothing crazy. Like I did some, cabinets and flooring and all that kind of shit, paint and stuff. Remortgaged the units, took the money that I got from that, and then bought a blender and like a little makeshift capsule machine to start making my own supplements myself, because the company that I was having making my shit was like fucking up like crazy. So that's how everything got started. So even for me to get that going, I had to turn an income to like, I couldn't buy the properties and then right away be like, go to the bank with no fucking money, no credibility whatsoever, and be like, oh, hey, by the way, I need a line of credit to like, renovate the properties. I couldn't do that. Are you fucking kidding me? They'd laugh at me. So I had to do something. I had to make that company successful so that I could renovate those properties, pull the equity out, get equipment so I could start making shit myself. Because I was like, fuck this. It was a mentality of if you can't have something done right yourself, if somebody can't do it right, you got to do it yourself. I had that mentality in the beginning because these other supplement companies were fucking my shit up so much, I couldn't take it anymore. So in order for me to be successful, I felt I had to introduce my own products into the market. But yeah, it's really easy. It's really easy to be successful when you don't have anything else to fall back on. It's easier. I shouldn't say it's easy. It's easier to become successful when you don't have something to fall back on. And that's exactly what I did. So I indirectly put myself into a position that wouldn't allow me to have a plan B. So I knew I wasn't fucking going back to school, and that was that.
Yeah.